the like kind of internal like relationships between restaurant, I would say like in some ways mirrors like the overall Austin relationships, where you have some folks who are like, wow, cool, love like new concepts, love this, love that, let's try it, and there are other folks who are like, whoa, 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 don't change my Austin, like I'm kind of against it. We experience the same thing like from I think a consumer standpoint, and from like we have some restaurants that are like, my God, welcome to town, like several restaurants came out and supported us on our opening day at Toasty Badger, and they were like, hey, just want to say, welcome, like excited to have you here, like people that would be considered, if you will, direct competitors. But and other folks are just very like, I don't know, like, you know, and a little bit like apprehensive. But I would say that, my perspective on it is that, and I'm somewhat aware of like other, I know other groups coming to town, other chefs and like other folks. Our perspective, the more momentum you have, the better it is for everybody. It's hard to be, like
100%.
the one, the two, the three, the four, the five great restaurants in a town, where it's like, okay, but if you're the five great restaurants in a town, you're at the same, you're at this level where there's not enough aren't enough restaurants to attract amazing culinary talent to the city, which is what we all need to survive, and to thrive. There aren't enough restaurants like we talked about to warrant bringing like certain products into the city. There isn't enough of like a scene of restaurants to develop that culture of like people like really getting into food and following the different restaurants and caring so much about like who's around, which I think people want to do that. Like they want to be on, Eater Austin and figuring out like who's opening and who's doing this and like which big events coming up. Like, for us to have food festivals and for us to have like, different like cocktail gatherings. So you need momentum in order for it to be this hospitality kind of a scene. The more the better, So I would say that Austin is, in my mind, still a bit shy of, the number of restaurants and the types of concepts and the number of people that are kind of like participating, like the number of different groups that are, I think a really healthy city has just a lot of different groups that are participating, so whereas Austin has, 10, 12, maybe kind of like I would say hospitality groups who have like multiple venues. And I think that that's just really, really healthy. So I think the more people that are opening things and creating things, and starting things in Austin, the better the whole scene becomes. And that's actually really healthy for everybody.